the reason I do a lot of these interviews is, first of all, I love meeting other artists and other creatives, and it's just like that's the best part of like that's the best part for me. I love it.
Yeah.
Such an extrovert that I just love meeting people, right? Now, the alternative and the goal behind that is I really want to deliver to people watching some sort of kind of roadmap, if that makes sense. Like I dropped out of college. I dropped out of college to do music full time, and when I dropped out, Ed Sheeran was like, I was like such a massive fan, and like I was like reading I tell the story all the time. I was reading all these articles, listening to every interview, heard his music 1,000 times, and like I was always so I could never get grasp the concept of how he did it, in the sense of like I'd hear these stories. Oh, Ed Sheeran gig 312 gigs in 1 year, and I'm like, bro, I dropped out of college and I can barely get one a month. Like, how did he do it? So I've been documenting my process the entire way. I've kept a journal every single day, kind of thing, and like I vlog, and it's like as my journey grows, I want to share people my experiences so that they can learn from it, right? So now
Yeah.
the goal for this is kind of similar. Like I want to connect the dots of just people, because nobody's going to be Jordan Powers, but they could say, "Oh, I love that she did that. Oh, that's how she got that connection. Let me see if I could take that point and put it to this point and connect the dots." It's like, so as comfortable as you are, I would love to see how if you could break down some of those walls or barriers and say like, okay, this is how I went from this point to this point to this point. So how did you make the decision of deciding I want to write songs to then going and singing backgrounds with Selena Gomez and also writing with Disney? Like, how did that even happen?
Um, so the main goal that I always have is just to do this forever,
I love
you
that.
know? So, kind of like the details, I have goals, I have
Mm,
like goals of like I want to put out my own records. I want to go on a headlining tour. I want to, do all those things. Be a huge international pop star.
love it.
Um,
I love it. And you
but
know
like
what? It's so hard to say that out loud to some people because they're like, you get shunned so many times. Sometimes it's like, I know what I want. I'm just not going to tell
listen,
people it
it's
because
not everybody's goal. Like it's
that's true
not
too.
everybody's dream to do that. So they're like, "Oh, okay, like yeah,
Yeah.
good luck." I'm like, "Okay, well, that's not your goal.
Yeah.
Like it's
Exactly.
mine." So like,
I love it.
um yeah. Um but I feel like so for me like kind of the details I'm a big picture person in general. So like details don't really matter.
Yeah.
I'm like is that like cuz everything really helps everything else. Like I said I didn't want to go to college, but the only reason I got the Selena Gomez gig is because I went to
Wow.
college and I met um one of Taylor Swift's backup singers and she was like I told her I could sing or I was like I want to do what you do. I raised my hand. I raised my hand because she was speaking, and she was like, "Do you have any questions?" I'm like, "It's what you do." And so I told her I could sing. I sent her a video, and she was like, "Oh yeah, you can." So then the only reason that I got the Selena thing was because I met her, and her name's Camila Marshall, and she recommended me for that gig. So like everything is just interwoven. So I would say like because there really is no roadmap, especially because being an artist is so personal. Like what you say is personal to you. Just every journey is personal to that person. Um, like my biggest piece of advice that I wish I could give myself.
Oh
Uh,
snap! That's you stole my question. That is the last question I ask every single guest. Every guest, I'm like the last question right before we wrap it up is like, so what is
should I
one
hold it?
thing? No, no,
Should I?
whatever. It doesn't matter. It's like, so what is one thing that you wish now that you wish you could tell yourself when you were first starting
Okay,
off?
then I won't phrase
No,
it
no,
that way.
no, no. It's the same answer. So what does it even matter? Please go
um,
for it. What is it? I
okay,
want to know.
so I wish that I had been told like I guess people did say this, but I couldn't like really like
Internalize
accept
it.
it yet, internalize it. Is like do you just have to put yourself out there. Like it is frightening. It's extremely I mean it's vulnerable to be vulnerable.
Hmm.
So if you can get over that and like just know that like you are you and you can accept yourself and just like put yourself out there, like I just think that you're gonna get 315 shows.
Yeah.
in a year. You're
And
gonna,
it's
you
also
know.
to some degree building that skin of rejection. Like you just have to get that no 1,000 times.
Oh
Um,
yeah. That is something I'm so happy that I learned early on because like I said I started dancing when I was young and I danced competitively. So I would like go to dance competitions and like perform, do solos, duos, groups, and like you get judged, you know, like you get a place, you get a medal if you do, and like you get critiqued, like this was good, this was bad, work on this or whatever. So I from a very young age like became like knew the value of a critique. Like a critique is
mhm.
kind of
Mm,
it's an opinion, but there, you know, when you're I don't know, some of it's objective, but
yeah.
a lot of it's just an opinion. And if you can understand that, you know, as an artist, what you're making, not everyone's gonna like, but like the most important thing is for you to like it,
Yeah.
then
Absolutely. I love
good on.
that. So that is super key, and I think that that is as a beginning artist, like just for people that are starting off that are listening to this, I think that is one of the most important things is not everybody's gonna like it, and it might not even be your significant other's cup of tea. You know what I mean? It's like, and that's okay. Like, because there are people that are gonna like it. You just have to find those people. And
Yep.
a really good business tactic that I've heard just for business, but it also applies to music and all the arts and stuff is like, stop trying to convert the people that are no's to yeses. Just find the people that are yeses. You
Yeah.
know, and so
Yep.
it's. I mean, I like I said, I heard that in the context of trying to sell to people, but it's you're really selling your music. You know, it's really no different. Just find the people that are interested rather than converting everybody else that's not. It's way more work, and you might never convert them.